In this video, we're going to look at the new consumer unit and switchgear from Lewden. We've got some really exciting products to have a look at in this video. The first one that we're going to discuss is this brand new consumer unit from Lewden, along with what I've got in this little box right here. That's quite exciting, but more on that in just a moment. Now, over the past few years, the popularity of Lewden products has absolutely gone through the roof, I'm sure you'd agree. And with this new consumer unit, it looks like that is only going to go from strength to strength. So let's have a look under the bonnet, as it were, and have a look at some of those key features of this new form consumer unit. Now, the first thing that will probably strike you about this is the change in the front lid. We've now got this lovely angled front here that combines with the lid and then creates this kind of nice sweeping element on the front of the board. So I'm sure you'll agree that that is a very handsome looking piece of equipment. Now, the very best innovations in history don't leave behind the parts that were already working well. And there's absolutely no exception here. If you look on the bottom, you can see we've still got the innovative square knockouts that we've come to love, along with those critical circular knockouts in the appropriate places. Then, if we open it up and have a look inside, you get an idea of what's going on in here. Now, one of the things that you're always looking for inside a consumer unit is plenty of space. And you can see that this box here leaves plenty of room for dressing your cables in nice and neatly. Now, speaking of room, that brings me on to this little box here and what it contains. You'll notice that the board has been loaded with individual RCBOs. However, never content with accepting just the status quo and going on as before, Lewden have developed this, what's inside here, and this is a new miniature RCBO. And if we just sit that next to the existing RCBOs, you can see there that there is a significant difference in size there. Look at that. Now, just think about how much more space will be available if this entire board is made up of these miniature RCBOs instead of the normal size ones. There'll be loads and loads of space for routing your cables and making connections easily. Also, if we zoom in nice and close down here, we can see this symbol. And this symbol just underneath the switch indicates that this RCBO is an A-type, meaning that the RCBO will still operate when up to 6 milliamps of DC current is leaked into the system by typical electronic loads or perhaps photovoltaic panels. Really, it's likely that this type of RCBO will become the absolute base standard for installation work in due time. So it's nice to know that this product has been future-proofed. Now, here at eFIXX, we love products that make electricians' lives easier, and this is definitely one of those products because, as well as being compact and A-type, it's also double pole. Now, that means that it can be used for circuits that require both the line and the neutral disconnecting, but it goes a little bit further because it also makes maintenance and testing easier and safer. Once it's switched off, both the line and the neutral conductors can be isolated, allowing for safe work to take place on the circuit. But it also makes testing easier because you won't get any false results when, say, you're carrying out your insulation resistance testing. As you can see, this can be tested in isolation without removing any conductors. How much easier is that? So, as Lewden continue to develop and be used in more and more installations, it's really good and reassuring to know that they've got you covered with quality products like the ones that we've looked at today. But as always, we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this new consumer unit and miniature RCBO from Lewden? Please leave your comments below, particularly if you've got any thoughts on the old AC type RCD. Do you think it's still got a place in the industry, or do you think that it's time that it was consigned to the history books? Whatever your thoughts are, please leave them in the comments below. All that remains in this video is to say thank you very much for watching.